Welcome to BBC Motor Reviews channel. Honda CB750 Hornet, 2023 on review. Honda's new CB750 Hornet is the cheapest of its closest middleweight naked rivals. That's a mouth-watering prospect when you consider it's powered by a stonking 91 brake horsepower parallel twin-cylinder engine and has a bountiful array of rider aids and standard equipment. There are no obvious signs that corners have been cut to get the price so low, but a couple of burning questions remain. Is it as fun to ride as Yamaha's MT-07? Does it handle as well as a Triumph Trident 660 and it is worthy of its name, especially now it has 2 fewer cylinders than the 1998 original? Well, its gusty new engine is the star of the show, although the throttle response can be snatchy and being so small and light it's easy to manage, although the short seat is a squeeze for taller riders. Ride quality and suspension control could be better and it takes time to get used to such quick steering, but it's stable and handles neatly in corners. It isn't perfect, but the Honda Hornet is an honest-to-goodness sports naked that offers big thrills for little money, just like the original. The new Honda is extremely light, both when you bat it between your legs at a standstill and on the road. Developed by the same group of Honda engineers that put the 2017 Fireblade on a massive diet, they've kept the Hornet's weight down to 190 kilograms fully fueled, giving it the best power-to-weight ratio in class. It's small, too, and looks almost toy-like by comparison for a 750. It's slim, has a low 795mm seat, naturally placed bars and feels every inch a friendly, easy-to-ride Honda. Smaller riders won't have a problem getting their feet flat on the floor and it's not too cramped in the peg department. But for the tall, the seat doesn't have enough front-to-back room, causing your lower back to touch the rear seat pad, hemming you in. The Hornet's lightness continues in the way it steers. Not only does it change direction with next to no effort, but the steering is almost too direct until you dial yourself into it. It's like the forks are so steep the front wheel is underneath you, which it's not, of course. Rather, the Honda's keenness to change direction is down to sporty geometry. Not only is its tubular steel frame 11% lighter than the Honda CB650 RS, and 19% lighter than the smaller CB500 FS, but the wheelbase is also 30mm shorter, 1,420mm, the rake 0.5% steeper, 25 degrees, and trail 2mm shorter, 99mm. A narrow 160-section rear tire adds agility, too. At first the steering is so sensitive it's hard not to throw up any bit around roundabouts and slow corners, something compounded by snatchy fueling from a closed throttle. But as you get used to the Hornet, your steering inputs naturally adapt and the more natural it feels. It reveals itself to be decent handling, but never completely planted or confidence-inspiring. Although the standard Michelin Road 5 Sports Touring rubber we're on, some Hornets will come on Dunlop Road Sport 2s, have plenty of grip. With pegs set back slightly, there's never an issue with ground clearance. Once you're past the ride-by-wire's immediacy from a closed throttle, the engine is a peach of thing. Purists will bemoan the Hornet not having a motor like the original's mid-90s 100 brake horsepower CBR600F lump. But if you want an inline-4 middleweight with a Honda badge, the CB650R is the bike for you. It's true that parallel twins aren't often the most exciting engines and can sound a bit drony, but Honda have done their best to inject as much drama as they can, while still getting it signed off by the Euro 5ists. It barks and booms like a big V-twin, loves to rev, and unlike the old Hornet's 4-pot, has an even spread of power, which you can dip into any way you want. It's as happy plodding through town as it is banging against the limiter and reminding you its class-leading 91 brake horsepower is actually rather a lot, especially on a bike this light. It's grunty, too, so much so that during our mountainous test ride it'll pull out of just about any corner in third gear, no matter how slow. Add in a dab of clutch and just like an MT-07, you can send the front wheel skywards with the electronics switched off. A full array of electronics gives the engine even more flexibility. Depending on which riding mode you choose, you can set the urgency of the power delivery in 3 stages and choose the amount of traction, wheelie or engine brake control you want. 2. Also 3-way adjustable. Our test bike is also fitted with the 240 pounds optional up/down quick shifter, 3 adjustable for sensitively, and works flawlessly. Anything but buzzy Honda CB750 Hornet engine in detail. The Hornets is powered by a new ride-by-wire controlled ultra-short stroke 8V parallel twin cylinder. It produces 91 bhp at 9500 rpm, 55 lb-ft of torque at 5500 rpm, and uses a single overhead cam, which Honda says gives several advantages over a twin cam. The cylinder head can be lighter and more compact. There's space for the valves and intake to be more upright and with fewer parts spinning around creating inertia. The handling is improved, too. It also has a 270 degrees crank to give it the feel and sound of a V-twin-like feel, and there are weights fitted to its 2 balance shafts to cancel out the vibes, a first for a Honda. Cylinders use the same slippery nickel silicon carbide coating as the fireblades and snail-shaped vortex flow ducts leading into the sides of airbox spin the air entering, boosting both torque and top-end power. A third intake at the bottom of the airbox further boosts top-end power and throttle response. A light levered slip and assist clutch smooths out engine braking during fast down changes. There's no DCT option, and Honda claims 65 miles per gallon and a theoretical full-to-dry range of 217 miles. It can also be restricted to 47 brake horsepower for A2 license holders. The same engine will be used in the new XL750 Transalp, but with longer airbox intakes and a bigger rear wheel. It'll feel slightly gruntier and longer-legged. You could make a case for a whole bunch of affordable middleweight nakeds to rival the Hornet. It's a packed class, to say the least. The closest in price and spirit are the 2 machines we've already mentioned here, which deliver something a little bit more special. There's the 7,500 pounds, 73 brake horsepower Yamaha MT-07, which is way more basic than the Hornet, but weighs just 184 kilograms, is better balanced and a more playful engine. And in the brick corner there's the 7,695 pounds, 80 brake horsepower, 189 kilograms Triumph Trident 660 that mixes style, tech and a rasping 3-cylinder soundtrack with a more refined ride and solid handling. There's also the less powerful 7,499 pounds, 67 brake horsepower Kawasaki Z650, the return of the KTM 790, Duke, and of course the new 82 brake horsepower parallel twin-cylinder Suzuki GSX-8S, but it's an unknown quantity right now, in terms of price and what it's like to ride. In addition to the kind of rider aids that only appeared on a Honda Fireblade 5 years ago, your 6,999 pounds gets you a hatful of goodies. There are 3 riding modes: Sport, Standard, Rain, plus an extra user mode that lets you choose between 3 power maps, 3 torque control settings, to limit wheel slip and wheelies, and engine braking. You can also disable the torque control. ABS is standard, but not lean sensitive. Its multi-function 5 inches TFT has 4 layouts to choose from and links to your phone to control music, calls and SAT NAV, by voice control via a Bluetooth headset. You also get a USB charger, LED lights all-round, self-canceling indicators, Nissan front radial brake calipers, wavy discs, and Showa upside forks. A full range of dedicated Hornet accessories can be bought separately or bundled into 3 packs. The 410-pound style pack includes frame protectors, tank pad, aluminum handlebar riser clamp, bar end weights and wheel rim tape. The 555-pound sports pack contains an up/down quick shifter, lighter foot pegs, rear seat cover and fly screen. And for trips away, the 765 pounds touring pack comes with a 3-liter tank bag and tail pack and hard panniers.